Okay, so the perfect pickup line. How does it go down? So you come over, you deliver the line, she laughs, she's turned on, she starts asking you questions about yourself, and you seal the deal from then on out. So, how do you get there? Well, the real way to get there is by delivering the line correctly. And a lot of times, you would be surprised at what you can say to girls and get a good reaction. The key to getting a good reaction is saying absurd stuff in a way that shows that you're comfortable with yourself and you're comfortable with people. So how do you get there? Well, the only way to really build comfort in your body is through experience. Communicate quickly the fact that she can feel comfortable. I'm a guy a little bit over 6 feet tall. Safety has never been a problem for me, even when I've lived in dangerous neighborhoods. It took me a really long time to understand that safety is still a really important issue for women. Some guys just don't use that opportunity in an appropriate way. One of the best ways to show that you are safe is to show that you're comfortable with yourself. Show that you're confident and you're going to lead whenever you have something to say. But you're also sensitive to the things that are happening around you. Now, you don't have to be sensitive to the point of reacting to things, but you should at least notice them. And when somebody gets uncomfortable, you can take steps to reassure them. So, what are pickup lines for? I mean, everyone knows that the key to getting the girl is just being yourself, right? Well, there's more than one way to be yourself. The way you say it is your being yourself. Being authentic is very endearing. Telling people something that they would normally expect you to keep secret. Extremely powerful move. It helps to have a sense of how people are going to react. I think it's totally fine to study up a little bit and say, this is really interesting to me, but I need to build a bridge before I can take someone else there, or they're going to be uncomfortable. So what's the best pickup line ever? Well, no one has ever found one that works on every girl. Pickup lines are like that. They kind of have to be catered to the situation. And that makes sense, right? I mean, if there was one guy who could get every girl, then the whole world would kind of end. He would just be causing trouble for all sorts of people. So you have to kind of start where you're at and live where you live. You're not going to be able to stand with your body in a confident stance until you have the experience of doing that day in and day out. And you're not going to be able to get somebody to go on a date with you or go home with you until you have the experience of trying and failing and trying again. And it really helps a lot if you can kind of pay attention to what you might have done wrong. And that's very difficult to do, but you can still try. So I have no trouble starting conversations. I have plenty of interesting things to say. I know how to break the ice. I've been talking to girls for years. Why should I use line of the day? Well, we want you to share all that great advice with our other members. We want you to see what is happening with them, reflect upon it, tell them what comes to your mind, and that way by clarifying your own ideas, you'll be able to be that much more efficient with your own interactions. Everyone can benefit from a little reflection and practice in their lives. The more ways you can look at something, the more you can learn from it. And by putting things in perspective, not only against your own history and your own thoughts, but also putting them in perspective against other people in your city and other people who are your age, other people who date the kind of women that you like. Learning from mistakes is one thing, but what you really want to learn from is how to do things the right way. And when you go out and practice, you want to practice doing things the right way. The literature won't really really get you any girls without those hundreds of approaches. So that's why when you join Line of the Day, we start setting goals for you right off the bat. And then you have to continue setting goals for yourself and sticking to them if you want a position of respect in our community. You've started to really connect with people, and you've started to really weed people out and figure out who you really care about. Then you enter a whole new stage of making all these new mistakes, turning off these girls by doing things that were always a home run with the other girls that you used them on. So it's really a refining process, and the point of this site is to use the data to help you refine that more efficiently.